Hi, I'm Alex, welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. So in today's video we're talking about Golden Nugget Online Gaming. Now it has been some time since I last spoke about Gnog on this channel, but I've noticed an increasing number of comments in relation to wanting an update on the company and whether or not I've sold my investment in Gnog. Before we go any further, I've not sold any of my position whatsoever. Just because I've not posted as many videos as I have done before or more recently about a stock does not mean that I've sold my position. Now on this channel, I don't want to be putting out videos just telling things that you already know or that are obvious. Your time is precious, and so I want to make sure that every video I upload on this channel is useful and you leave having learned something new from that video. That's exactly what's planned for this video, so if you're interested in Gnog, then this is not one that you want to miss. Now before we get into it, please smash the like button. In our battle against clickbait on YouTube, when you do like the video, it's so helpful in letting the algorithm know that it doesn't only need to recommend clickbaity content that's often misleading. It's massively appreciated and it helps the channel out so much, so thank you so much. If you're new to the channel, then make sure you're subscribed. If you want to see more content, then check out the Patreon group for the private Discord and the live video calls, amongst other things. And as always, I'm not a financial advisor. This video is purely for educational and entertainment purposes only, but let's get straight into it. So clearly this update video has been a long time coming, with many people a bit underwhelmed by the recent share price performance of Golden Nugget. First up, let's address those. So personally, I think there are two fundamental dynamics at play here. One is related to the broader market, and the other is related to the SPAC market. Both of these are relevant, and it's important to be aware of them and to understand the impact that these may have over the coming months too. So firstly, let's talk about the market dynamics impacting Gnog's recent stock price performance. Firstly, there's a load of concern in the market around inflation, driven primarily by the money printed by governments to fund the response to the pandemic. The implication and expectation of this is an increase in interest rates, which have been discussed on this channel many times before, and the impact this has on the valuation of stocks, specifically higher growth stocks. Now, getting slightly more technical here, the impact this has is the greatest when we're talking about higher beta growth stocks, which includes many of the gaming sector stocks as well as some cannabis stocks as well, which are discussed a lot on this channel too. In order to combat this increasing fear and expectation of inflation, an interest rate increase is highly likely, and this is the sentiment in the market which is impacting growth stocks. This is not permanent, it changes and evolves, but undeniably this is part of the reason for the negative stock price performance recently. Now the second dynamic which I think is worth discussing here is the fact that Gnog was once a SPAC. Now hear me out here. While the SPAC market did bring great returns for many investors during the course of 2020, a number of factors have changed this, which in turn have a knock-on effect on many companies. So during 2020 and early 2021, we saw record levels of SPAC fundraising. More and more SPACs were raised, and the increased volume of capital was all chasing the same number of potential acquisition targets. The result of this is often quite high valuations paid for many companies which were perhaps too early stage to be acquired. Now, before you jump on me and say that Gnog is not too early stage, it's a profitable company at an EBITDA level, and it's a corporate carve-out, I totally agree, but hang on with me here. The result of these dynamics has actually left many wary of SPACs and almost all SPACs and ex-SPACs being tarnished with the same brush, that being that they're all too early stage companies with unprecedented levels of cash on their balance sheet and limited expertise and discipline for deploying this in opportunities which drive a high return on investment. Personally, I do think there is some contagion for Gnog here with this stigma, as its legacy as a SPAC, which actually is unfair. People who spend time to do their diligence on Gnog soon understand and appreciate that this is not the case here. It's highly profitable, and that in the case of Golden Nugget Online Gaming, these concerns are allayed. But still, undeniably, there's a degree of skepticism among many investors for ex-SPAC companies. Gnog needs to shed this legacy and stigma, and it's doing all the right things to do this, delivering strong financials and profitability, executing its growth plan, and also winning support from analysts in the form of new analyst coverage and updated price targets. Gnog did have a lot of negative press during the SPAC merger when it was LCA for its connection with Tilman Fertitta, and incorrectly people suggesting that the SPAC deal was just an opportunity for him to offload debt from the brick and mortar business onto the online gaming one. Now clearly since this period of time the company's performed well, it's delivering on its strategy, and the analysts which are covering Gnog remain bullish on the stock. Those analysts all currently have price targets materially above where the current stock price is. This is important for a stock, but it's also a reminder to investors for the need to be patient here. I've received a lot of negative messages regarding the lack of update videos which I've put out on other stocks and how it's been predominantly focused on high tide. Now it's important to just remind you here again that on this channel I try to only put out videos which people will find interesting and useful. I don't want to put something out which is a waste of your time. That's not at all what I want to be doing with this channel. Gnog has been executing its strategy and there's been positive news flow around the stock. However, many of these are not update worthy on their own and would be a waste of your time if I was to create a video on those. When something meaningful happens, I will put out an update, but I'm just putting that out there now. Gnog's strategy is all hinged on the expansion into new states. That's not something which happens overnight. It takes time, it's an organic process, so you need to be patient. Now, shortly we will discuss some interesting data which demonstrates this point perfectly. However, when you look at Gnog's valuation currently versus its peers, it definitely still remains very undervalued. On a relative basis, the valuation multiples are much closer to those of the European gaming players rather than the American ones, where there's a much greater growth opportunity and where the companies targeting this market will be addressing one of the most exciting opportunities the gaming market has seen in a generation: the derogation and the legalization of gambling across many new states in the US. This growth alone, and the market share potential and the financial opportunity which companies addressing this opportunity can attack, like Gnog, justifies a premium valuation to those players in Europe. By contrast, the European market is a lot more mature and it's established, and so delivering the same levels of growth just is not possible. Investors here need to be patient and take a long-term view. For anyone who's done their diligence, this should not be a surprise. The strategy is all about expanding into new regions, and this does not happen overnight. If this is not something which is aligned to your investing timeline, then perhaps an investment in the gaming sector is not one for you. It will take time, and so either be patient and let this play out, or if that opportunity cost is too great for you, then find another sector and opportunity to invest into. Now, looking forward, as investors, we know that Gnog will be posting its quarterly results on August 12th. I will be eagerly awaiting this to ascertain how the company has performed, how the new markets are growing, and personally I'm expecting good news. A solid set of results will be great news for the company and should be well received by the market. In particular, I'll be keeping a very close eye on the performance from Michigan. What we know so far from the Gaming Commission results is that Gnog has been performing very well. As of June, Gnog had a 4.9% market share in Michigan, which has been achieved after just 6 months. This is clearly showing much faster growth than the company delivered in other newly established states, and it's great to see. It's showing how the company has refined their new market entry strategy, and it's a great indicator for what's to come with new states opening up and allowing online gaming. What's also good to note here is that while the online gaming market has plateaued in Michigan and it's growing more slowly on a month-on-month basis, Gnog has continued to grow and is capturing market share. In summary, it's great to see, and I'm excited to see the results more broadly to see what Gnog has in store for us. Remember, be patient, it all takes time. Just because I may not have posted a video in a while doesn't mean that I've lost interest. I'll be totally candid and honest with you in that respect. If I do not post, it means because I do not think you need to be bored with a video where I tell you things which you already know. I want these videos to be interesting and to be something which people enjoy, look forward to and learn from. So in summary, I'm still excited and still bullish on Gnog and an investment in the online gaming sector. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, then make sure you're subscribed. If you want to see more content, then check out the Patreon group for live video calls and the private Discord group. And as always, please let me know your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I find it so interesting to hear all the different thoughts and perspectives, so please get involved. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video.